It began with a scent, a fleeting trace of cologne on her blouse that I didn't recognize. It wasn't mine. At first, I dismissed it. Lily and I had been together for a decade, and our bond had always felt unshakable, built on a foundation of trust and shared memories. But that night at dinner, something in her demeanor made the air between us feel unfamiliar. Her laughter, once effortless, felt strained, like a rehearsed line from a bad play. Her eyes were distant, fixated on a place far beyond our small dining table, as though she was reliving a moment I wasn't part of. Late night at the office again? I asked casually, cutting into my food, feigning normalcy. She nodded too quickly. Yeah, the team's under a lot of pressure with a new client, she said, brushing off a question with practiced ease. But I knew better. Sure, her job in marketing had its demands, but this sudden uptick in late nights felt abrupt, out of rhythm. Still, I smiled and let it go. I didn't want to seem paranoid, didn't want to be that husband, but suspicion, once seated, grows roots fast. Soon, I was seeing patterns. A new perfume she never wore around me. Her phone, once left lying carelessly around, was now always close to her, angled just out of sight when messages came in. Her appearance had taken on a new intensity. Hair, makeup. Even her wardrobe felt curated with someone else in mind. I didn't want to become a spy in my own marriage, but I needed answers. One evening, while she was in the shower, I gave in. My hands trembled as I picked up her phone and scrolled. Nothing jumped out at first. The usual work messages, group chats. Just as I was about to stop, I noticed a name that kept appearing, Greg. Innocuous. A colleague, perhaps. But their exchanges felt too familiar. Comfortable in a way that made my skin crawl. Then I saw it. Here. Can't stop thinking about last night. Just one sentence. But it ripped through me like a blade. I replaced the phone, my stomach churning, and said nothing. I needed more. Proof. Not for her. For myself. To know for certain that my instincts weren't wrong. The next time she claimed to be working late, I followed her. I stayed far behind as she drove, expecting to head downtown, to the office. But instead, she turned off the main road and parked in front of a quaint little bar on the edge of town. I stayed in my car, engine off, watching from the shadows. Through the window, I saw her, laughing, relaxed in a way she hadn't been with me in months. Across from her sat a tall, dark-haired man. He reached across the table, touching her hand with a familiarity that made my blood boil. Her eyes sparkled, her smile unguarded. When he leaned in to kiss her cheek, and she didn't flinch, I knew. Greg. I wanted to burst through the doors, to drag him outside and demand answers. But I didn't. Instead, I took photos. Cold, clinical evidence of betrayal. I needed her lies to face the harsh light of truth. The next morning, I said nothing. She returned home with a glowing smile and a lie already on her tongue. The meeting went really well, she said, pouring herself coffee. We might need to work late again next week to lock things in. That's great, I replied with a gentle smile. You've been working so hard. Maybe we should celebrate this weekend. Just the two of us. She hesitated just for a moment before nodding. Yeah, sure. That sounds nice. She thought the lie had worked, that she was in the clear, but I had already started putting my plan in motion. Later that week, when I knew she'd be away, I visited her office building. Getting in wasn't difficult. A fake story about a forgotten file and a polite smile got me past security. Her office was neat, professional. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But then I found a locked drawer. It was a simple lock, the kind that could be picked with a paperclip, and it was. Inside, I found exactly what I needed. Handwritten notes, receipts for dinners she claimed were with clients, and a small velvet box. Inside, it was a delicate bracelet with "Forever Yours" engraved on the back. The pain hit like a punch to the gut. But beneath the hurt, something else took root, clarity. That Saturday, I became the picture of the loving husband. Candles, wine, her favorite meal cooked to perfection. She seemed caught off guard, almost nervous. After dinner, I handed her a small gift box. She opened it slowly. Her smile faltered the second she saw what was inside, a single silver key. The key to your locked drawer at work, I said softly. Her face went pale, and for a moment, she looked like she couldn't breathe. James, what is this? You know exactly what it is, I replied, keeping my voice even. I found everything. The notes, the bracelet, the dinner receipts. How long, Lily? How long has this been going on? She tried to speak, to spin a story, but I didn't let her. The tears came quickly, followed by apologies and excuses. It didn't mean anything, she sobbed. I was lonely, James. You've been so busy, so distant. Busy? I interrupted, my calm beginning to crack. Do you even understand why I've been working so hard? For us, for the life we built together. And this is how you thank me. She fell to her knees, clinging to my hand. Please, James, I'll do anything. Please don't give up on us. But it was already over. You've done enough, I said quietly, pulling away from her grasp. Now it's time to face the consequences. And I meant it. In the days that followed, I began the slow but decisive unraveling of the life she had taken for granted. I filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity. I told her family and close friends the truth, backed by evidence she couldn't deny. Her parents, who once looked at me like a son, were devastated and furious with her. At work, word spread like wildfire. I never spoke a word to anyone in her office, but these things have a way of leaking. Greg, it turned out, was married too. His wife found out, and when she did, she made sure HR knew everything. Both Greg and Lily were let go. Their once promising careers gone in a flash. One evening, while I packed up the last of her belongings, she came to the house. James, she whispered, her voice hollow. I've lost everything. Please, I just need one more chance. I looked at her. This woman I had once loved more than anyone in the world and felt nothing. You made your choice, Lily, and now you get to live with it. She turned and walked away, shoulders hunched, defeated. And in that moment, I felt something shift. The weight of betrayal hadn't disappeared, but it had lessened because I hadn't let it consume me. I hadn't let her lies define me. In time, life moved forward. So did I. The pain faded, slowly, replaced by strength, clarity, and a new sense of self-worth. I became someone wiser, someone who knew what they were worth and refused to settle for anything less. And that, I realized, was a kind of freedom I never knew I needed.